voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
I knew, yeah, midway I heard the little chuckle, and I was like, yo, he's about to go in on this. But, what is going on, everybody? It is Thursday night. It is prime time. And you know what that means. Next Podcast is here for your gaming entertainment. What is going on, chat? Great to see everybody here. Guys, we're going to have an interesting night. We are definitely going to have an interesting night. As we all know, K-Mega decided that he was going to go on vacation when it comes to podcasting. So, I don't know. He's probably sitting back with his feet in that little automated water foot massager thing that he likes to dip his toes into. He's probably got that terry cloth robe, and it's probably way too small for him. And you're welcome for painting that picture. But yes, he is not here, and the infamous Predator is not here, but guys, do not worry, because we have an electric panel, and somebody who is coming in very soon. I would call him a professional on one of the topics. Guys, it is going to be a great show, so you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button, share this out on social media, let people know that Next Podcast is live right now, and they don't want to miss it. But guys, we got to get into the intros, and I'm going to start with the usual suspects first. And, you know, since he lives so close to me, I mean, why not start with this man? He is the creator of hashtag Crispy Truth. You might have seen him if you play Gears. You were probably on the giving end of a shotgun. Of course, it is Crispy Bomb. What is up, bro?
Oh, it's too hot here. Come on, dude. It was like what? Heat index 104. Like, yeah, great. I got in my truck and I was like, oh look, it's 100. I see triple digits. Yay! No, thanks. Appreciate it. But yeah, great to be here. And yeah, we got Midway up in the house, and love casting with Midway. Few and far between, but glad you're here. And I don't know what Dark's got up his sleeve, but it should be interesting. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. We got some great topics, and definitely tweet this stuff out.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir. Monkey, what is up? Monkey Punch is in the chat. Yo, Bloody, what is up, brother? I hope you... let me see... brother, all you have to do is hit the next room, man. You know, in the voice channels, hit the next room, and I will be able to introduce you as well. But next on the list, we are going from basically right next door to completely across the country. This man dropped a huge bomb last week on Next Podcast, and people were shocked, they were stunned, they were amazed. And I think he might do it again tonight. Dark Optimus, what is up, bro?
What's up, man? They were angry too. For some reason, I don't know why.
They were in awe. Maybe not
they
that.
Were,
Maybe not that.
Oh, and by the way, K-Mega said that he told you he wasn't coming tonight, so.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I know.
All right.
Because I guess he considers this a job, and he's taking a vacation.
Even though he's playing The Ascent on Xbox right now. Just saying.
He's playing what?
The Ascent on Xbox right now.
Oh, okay. Just as long as guys, the art of Rally came out on Xbox, and I cannot wait to play that. I will probably stream that for a little bit after the show, if I can create an overlay real quick. But yeah, no, Dark. I knew he wasn't coming tonight. The surprise was Predator, by the way.
I think I was just checking, dude. You seemed like you were unsure. It sounded in your voice, dude. Your voice starts cracking when you sound concerned. So,
Well,
just saying.
see what happened was with K Mega, and he didn't want
Wait.
anybody to notice.
Your voice always cracks, doesn't it?
No.
Never
What
mind.
happened with K Mega that he didn't want anybody to know was he was really close to trying a PlayStation VR. He had it so close to his eyes, but he didn't put it on. But he did contract. He said eye herpes, but it didn't get that far. It's only nostril herpes is what he's got right now. So
It's more like
Todd.
pink nostril
Pink
instead
nostril.
of pink eye.
pink
Pink nostril.
Yeah, he's got pink nostril. So, yeah, but shout out to K Mega. We gotta throw our bashes in a little bit, but next on the list, and this man, you might have seen him on other shows. I know him personally as one of my favorite people to golf against, because this man will hear the call, like, just about any time. If he's free, he will come in and he will play PGA 2K with me. I am glad to bring back my brother Midway Monster. What is up, bro?
What's up? Yeah, the golf call. It's like my bat signal. Whenever you need me, I'm usually there. What's going on, guys? Really excited. Glad to be on loan from 4GQ TV. Just so you know, Xbot Clown says you can't have me, and I'm always looking forward to Dark Optimus's scandal. He likes to create scandal, so we're gonna see if we hear any more scandal. And then we got Crispy Bomb. Always a pleasure, and yes, I always enjoy podcasting with you too. Thank you for the compliments. Let's get this going.
Damn.
I really wish you would pick better guests, man. I swear.
Well, on that note, there's somebody else, and he's in our Discord, and I gave him the title. All he has to do is go and look at the voice channels, and it's The Next Room is what it's called. You are allowed. You can go over there, click on that, and you're in with us, bro. Just to let you know. It's all good, man. But, guys, yeah, you are in for a show tonight, and we are going to drop bombs early is what we are going to do. And it seems after last week, Dark Optimus had an epiphany. He had an epiphany, people, and he said something. Yo, Dark, do you want to revisit what you said last week to kind of set this up on where we're going and what you want to talk about this week?
I don't even think I remember what I said last week.
Wow.
That's how bad
He's
it
like,
is.
what happened? I blacked
How bad
out.
my memory is, man.
Got-
No, I said something about, I'm sick and tired of waiting on PlayStation or some shit like that, and I was just like, I want to get an Xbox. That was about it.
Pretty much, he was looking over the fence in the backyard. He's like, "Wow, the grass is pretty green over there." He's been playing in the PlayStation backyard with Yoshida and Jim Ryan and all them. He's been hanging out with them over there since the beginning of this generation. And he started to look over. He saw the party that was going on the other side with the banners that say Game Pass and talking Halo Infinite.
So are you saying he was Wilson from Home Improvement?
Oh, dude, we gotta get him one of Wilson's hats as well. That would be amazing.
Just eyes and a fisherman hat.
Actually, we can't get him the hat because the hairdo has to be shown. It has to be seen. Business in the front, party in the back, baby. But
I love how you still think I have a mullet.
he does. Guys, you can hear it in his voice. Chat, please let me know. You can hear mullet in his voice, can't you? Can't I know I can. Come on.
I mean, anybody who's seen me on Gaming Beyond the Box that one time knows that I do not have a mullet. So
No, he's got that tuxedo shirt though.
definitely, that is definitely.
Jesus with a tuxedo shirt on. Talladega Nights. Look it
I
up.
wouldn't go as far
Casual,
as
but he likes to
I
party.
wouldn't go as far
Yes.
as Jesus. I would just,
All right, well, Dark, what is going on? What is new with you? What do you want to let people know? What has happened?
Did something happen this week? I'm not sure,
You
dude.
personally?
Oh, now we're gonna
To me
we're gonna,
personally?
we're gonna play coy, is what we're gonna do.
No, I got a Series S, man. I bought a Series S. That's right. I bought a Series S, not X, but S.
Ooh.
Because you can't find those Series X's. I mean, right now I think Walmart's having them, but I'll wait until they're readily available. But yeah, man, what do you want me to say about it? You want me to talk about it? You want me to say
Well,
pros,
have you had a
cons?
chance? Have you gotten in? Have you
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think so far? Because like you said, you got the Series S. I have the Series S. All right, so
Me too.
I know. Yeah, Midway as well. So this little thing.
I'm a loner now. Wow. I love it.
You walk alone. You walk alone.
I walk this lonely road.
Oh
I-
wow, Green Day people. What?
Honestly, I mean, so far, I'm liking it. It's fast. I mean, it's definitely fast. It's a beast of a little machine, I tell you, man. That thing is little, but it's a beast, and it's kind of heavy too. I was like, this thing's like a fucking brick, dude.
Yeah, for
I
real.
could throw this through a window, man.
Yeah, don't
but
do
it's
that. Don't do
yeah,
that.
no, no, for sure, yeah, no. But it's a nifty little console, man. I'm liking it. I'm not really I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the best console on the market right now, but I'm also not gonna say the PlayStation's the best console on the market right now. I would even say the Switch is probably the best console on the market right now. I would say probably right now they're all kind of in that middle ground of kind of like I haven't had enough time to play on all of them, but once these games start coming out and more games start coming out, we'll see which ones is the king on my end, for me at least.
What games have you tried so far on the Series S?
I played Raji, an ancient
Oh,
epic. That was good. I like that a lot. I tried the Ascent. That was pretty good. I got to get back into that and play that. Right now I'm playing Omno. Right now, I also downloaded the Medium. Haven't opened it up yet, but I'm gonna definitely be playing that. I also downloaded Dirt 5, which me in car games, but I'm interested. Why not? Like it's on Game Pass, it's there. Might as well open it up and try it, and if I don't like it, I don't need to keep it. That's the beauty of the console. It's a little Game Pass machine. Really, to be honest. There are going to be games that I'm going to be like, I want to play that, or I want to buy that. Luckily, Psychonauts 2, when that comes out, I'm ready. I'm ready already to play it. So, and it'll have the better version on the Series S than the PS5. So that's a good thing. I look at this console more as a money saving machine. Like games that I don't have to buy, I won't have to buy it.
Yeah, so you spend $300 and you
Yeah.
probably save 500 after the next 2 years. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
If you just had this, which I know you're trying to get a Series X. I mean, everybody is really trying to get that at this point. Like, the one thing I will say is that, the beauty of the Series X is that I feel like as far as consoles are concerned, I can't get any better. And that's one thing that, like, dude, for what I paid, like, I mean, we've paid $500 many times over, our lifespan. You know what I
The
mean?
One
For a
X was
console.
5, right?
Yeah.
The One X
Yeah,
was
the One
5.
X.
Yeah, I bought the one and I thought it was great. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, it's a good console. Yeah.
this is like, I don't know, like the Series X, like Microsoft, if you happen to be listening, you got to make more of them because I think a lot of people for that price point are going to buy it. I'm just saying.
I think for right now, like the Series S and the Series X is even, especially like I know the X is completely beyond the One X, but the Series S is definitely better than the One X. The One X had its issues, like with I think it was really like either it was a hard drive or there was something going on in that
It was the
series on
CPU.
the One X, because that
Say
One X,
CPU alone.
yeah, because that One X was like like sometimes my apps wouldn't open, or like games wouldn't open. Like sometimes like I'd have to restart the console. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like it didn't bother me to do that. But it was just kind of like, it was like, okay, well, I have to do an extra step in order to get this thing to play what I want it to play. But right now, I mean, the Series S, I mean, that thing is fast. Like I get into a game quick. I don't have to worry about waiting, well, like I did on my One X.
Yeah,
it's
the load
it's
time thing,
I
dude.
wouldn't.
I gotta ask real quick, because load times are one thing that you can kind of witness right off the bat. Has quick resume surprised you yet? Because that surprised me. Like over time, I was just like, first I was like, that's kind of gimmicky, you just jump back in or whatever. But then as I'm playing it and as I'm like, okay, I want to play that game, and I click on it, and all of a sudden I'm right back to where I was when I played it like a week ago, just ready to keep going. Like, did that surprise you yet?
It doesn't work with every game, so that's why I'm like, that's kind of shitty that it doesn't work with every game. That's kind of a con to me. Like, it should work with every game. Especially since it works with 360 games, and I'm all like, that's weird that it would work with 360 games, but it doesn't work with every single game that comes out at least on Game Pass. Like, it should work with every game on Game Pass, but it doesn't.
Well,
I have tried it out.
I got a little tip for you, though. A little tip
Huh.
for you, because it can only have so many games in quick resume. All right, so when you hit like, do you know? Did you see the category under kind of like your pinned games or what? Okay, all right.
Yeah, dude, I seen that. Right. But it doesn't work with every game.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it's a cool like little feature of the game of the console. But I've switched back and forth several times between the Ascent and Skate, just to kind of see.
Dude, I downloaded Skate as well. Good job.
The just to see it, just to see how it does it. It's impressive, but I mean, it's not like something that blows me out of the water or anything. It's not like something that's like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing in the whole entire world. I just don't get like that with certain things like that. It's the same thing with PlayStation. Like the controller doesn't blow me away.
You're
like
supposed
like
to blow the controller away on PlayStation.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh!
Honestly, I would say like this controller though on the Xbox is absolutely improved, like tremendously from the one One X controller, because that One X controller is a fucking pain in the ass, dude. Because the bumpers felt like one fucking thing. Like it didn't feel like they were detached from each other. But this one, it feels nice. Like, and I like the grip on the little side there. You know, where you have, and then the grips on the bumpers and the triggers. Like, I like
yeah,
that.
I like those.
I like the D-pad. I think the D-pad's really good. The controller overall is really good. I mean, I wouldn't um you know, if I was to change one thing on the controller, I would like to see not haptic not haptic feedback in terms of like how PlayStation has it, but like trigger stops. You know, for like first-person shooters or third-person shooters,
Oh, to
like
get like the
had that built in to the
So
controller.
you want part of the Elite controller in
Right,
there.
just part of the Elite controller in there, not the whole thing, just part of it. Like the one thing that I very much dislike about the PS5 controller is the speaker on it. That is completely stupid. I hate that fucking thing. I turn that thing off constantly. Well, actually, I turn it. I have it off anyways. It's in the menu. I can just go in there and turn it off. Um, and you know, so the only thing that I think that Xbox could at least maybe take from PlayStation is maybe those adaptive triggers, but make it into their own thing. You know, instead of having it be um, like PlayStation's. And that's really the only thing that I would say that I would want. Um, because you don't feel like in some games, like there's some games like the Ascent. When I was playing it, I didn't I felt it felt kind of naked when I was playing the game, and I didn't feel like a little bit of the adaptive, you know, like a little bit of a vibration with the triggers and stuff. But I mean, is it the end of the world that it doesn't have it? No. Um, but it would be definitely a nice feature for it to have. Um, honestly, you know, that the console, man, is just it's a little, like I said, a little beast of a console, you know, and I'm excited to you know, test it out more. Um, but you know, I know people are probably expecting me to say like, oh, the Xbox Series S is way better than the PlayStation 5, and I'm not gonna say that because I love them both equally.
Aww.
I wouldn't even say that.
I do. I mean, honestly, I love my PlayStation. I will not get rid of it. Like, that's not something, you know, I'm even thinking
Guys,
about.
Dark is selling
just-
his PlayStation. Here we go.
No, not
heard
at
it
all,
here.
dude.
You heard it
No,
here
I
first.
love
You heard it here first.
even though that fucking console is huge, I still love it for the fact that, you know, it's just, you know, the exclusives for it, you know, things like that, you know, or certain third party games,
Exclusive.
you know. They're I mean, that's the thing. I'm gonna be switching off here, you know, here and there, you know, playing Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that. So I'm not totally like invested into Game Pass and not gonna buy any games. If I see a game that I want to play, I'm gonna play it on either console and I'm gonna buy it. Period.
Are you
know, I'm not.
are you contemplating on getting the expansion card?
I have contemplated it a little bit, but I was like, you know, honestly, dude, I don't think I'll need it because I'm not playing Call of Duty on this console. If I play Call of Duty, it'll probably be on PlayStation because that's where my cousin is, and you know, I have other family members and friends that play and they play COD. So if I play COD at all, it would be there because that's what they like playing. But you know, I mean, I'm more of the person who's just like, because I already have my external hooked up to it, and if I get games that are like that don't have the Series X or Series S logo on it, I'll just put it on the hard drive, you know, on the external. So I don't think I'm gonna get that right now, because mostly I'm using it for a Game Pass machine right. Not really.
Okay.
I do want to get Death Door though. I do want to get that. I probably will buy that.
Dark. I gotta ask you this. This is the simplest question ever. Do you feel your $300 was worth it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel the same way about my PlayStation. You know, I feel the same way. You know. For both, I feel like they were, totally worth the
He didn't
the
ask
money.
you
and...
about your PlayStation, sir. He
I
asked
know.
about your Series
I know,
S.
I just want people to know that I care about both of them, and I think that having both.
You got to change your name to
really...
Dark Disclaimer, is what you got to
Well, that's
do.
the thing. That's the thing. I want to have both, so I'm not missing out on anything. Like, why would I want to miss out on anything?
Guys, he says he likes to switch hands. Now, with switching hands, is the Series S the
Like
stranger? Is what I want to know.
Definitely, it's definitely the stranger. But yeah, dude. I mean, I'm excited to see what Psychonauts 2 does. I'm excited to see what Halo does. And I'm gonna be able to play Forza Horizon 5. I mean, yeah, granted, I could have played it on my One X. I could have played all those games on my One X.
You get to play that niche title, sir. Oh my goodness.
But on the Series S, it's gonna look better. It's gonna run better. It's gonna be faster. So that's why I was like, you know what? I really don't. I like having my One X, but the problems that I've had with it, it's time to upgrade and get something better. And the Series S is definitely better.
All right. So real quick, our brother Midway had 2 questions for you off air, and I would not let you answer them. So Midway, fire away. What are 2 questions that you asked Dark? And Dark, now you must answer.
Well, aesthetically, laying down or standing up.
Laying down.
Me too.
I don't have it standing up. No.
I got it standing up. I think it looks.
That's how I have my PlayStation as well. Just laying down. I don't have it. It's because I have a mount
and then
on my TV. So
opening up that box like a treasure chest. Were you surprised at how sleek and how small it was?
Yeah, actually I was. I mean, I've seen them before, I think the thing that surprised me the most was how heavy it was. I was like, holy shit, this thing's fucking heavy. I knew it wasn't it's not heavy like you're thinking oh my god, I can't lift this up.
If you swing it at somebody, you can
It's just
hurt
a little
somebody.
heavy. Yeah. It's it's a little heavy. It's got some heft to it. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm liking it, having, I'm liking it, honestly. I mean, I'm excited to jump back into the Ascent too. Play that.
Okay, brother. All right. Don't mind me, guys. I am pulling up some information here.
You thought I was gonna talk a little bit longer, didn't you?
No. Actually, you already went too long. Anyway.
Wow, man.
No, I'm trying to get the exact parameters for the next topic because out of nowhere, Xbox and Ninja Theory just decided that they were gonna drop the Series X and Series S enhancement and try to sell people the enhancements. They came out for free. Absolutely incredible. But one wow, that is a loud, annoying voice in the background.
Who's here?
Could be here.
Well, mute watching the podcast, sir.
Yeah, can you turn the volume down on the...
Oh, hold on. See, I can't even see right now. I cannot see who's here. Oh, he finally he joined us. Nice.
This is me being knowledgeable as usual.
You're botting a little bit there, bot.
Yeah, my whole YouTube thing just decided it was. Okay, there we go. We are back, smoothed out, guys. One thing that disclaimer here: YouTube has changed up absolutely the entire way that you set up streams and stuff. So as I was looking, I think I hit everything properly. but you know when they first redo things, you never know if it's going to be smooth or not. But
excuses.
dark excuses. Dark disclaimer.
I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses like you do, you fuck.
But guys, let's talk about
making
Hellblade
excuses.
real quick. Now, one of the things I was surprised about was the Series S enhancement. And now, for people who don't know, there is a resolution mode, there is a performance mode, and then there is enriched graphics mode. Basically, Series S, you know, the most impressive thing to me was the enriched graphics mode when it comes to the Series S, and the reason why is with enriched graphics you get more fog, you get more foliage, but on the Series S they have implemented ray tracing. That is right, ray trace reflections in the water, just ray tracing in the lighting element as well. Like makes so much of a difference playing that game. And for people who don't know, I did stream it on this channel, but I believe there is a 120 frame per second mode for performance on the Series X. I think performance on the Series S is 60 FPS.
So the performance is 60 1080p. The resolution is 30 FPS at dynamic 1440p, but the enriched visuals is 30 at 1080p, but with ray tracing.
Okay, and what about do you have the Series X information on hand?
I do not, but I do remember seeing the 120, 4K 120, and then everything else was just like crazy goodness for them. So I can only worry about what I have. So I just went.
I got you. Hold on. I am
Disclaimer.
I am trying to look this up here. Hold on. But in the meantime, let us welcome our brother from GRG and one of the very few anime professionals that I have around me, and I have the ability to talk to. Yo, Bloody Knuckles, what is up, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, but to everyone else, what is up, dudes and all my beautiful brothers, other interwebs? Bloody Knux here, aka the God the Gamer, and your resident anime king. But more than anything, just good to be back with Papa Bot. As everyone knows, the baby bot is in the building here. Crispy Bomb, it's been a while, my man, so it's good to see you as always. The Dark Bottomist, it's been years since me and you done anything together, so it's so good to be back with you. And Midway, my man, how's it been, brother? So good to see you as always.
What's going on, man? Always a pleasure podcasting with you again.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
Yo, Bloody, you might be proud of me, man. I have expanded my anime library for shows I have watched. I have watched Fire Force. I got into So I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
Tensura, good.
Oh my goodness, that is getting so good. Season 1 was a little but season 2, man, they put the pedal to the metal. They hit the gas down to the floor.
Season 1 was all about the world building, but also focused more on the comedy aspect of the series, whereas season 2 is going into more of the political action side of it, which is why it's so good.
Yes. But it is good to have you on, bro. So I am going to ask you, of course, about, you know, the topics that we have here. But I know you are chiming in on possibly a really big situation with Sony. But I'm you know, we're going to talk about everything. We will get to the Sony situation because the way you brought it up to me in a DM, I didn't even think about that. I was just like, you know, with what was going on, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then you're like, no, dude, hold up. Check this out. And I'm like, oh, no, really? But we're going to get into that. But we're talking Hellblade right now. Have you been able to check out Hellblade with its new Series X and Series S enhancements?
I actually have not had a chance to get into the new update simply because of the fact that I've been focused on my new job, so things have been kind of busy. But I was aware of the new update and all the new graphical um, settings and options that they added. And I gotta say that the fact of um, what the team over there has done is beyond amazing, because you got to think that they're taking a pretty much a 4-year-old game at this point, maybe 5, because if you think of the time it was exclusive on PlayStation before it came over to the Xbox, probably in what, 2018, almost 2019. So they're taking a 4-year-old game, still using the old engine and being able to push it and update the textures and everything that they have with it to be able to push out 4K visuals, and they're pushing to have 60 frames on one, and then the fact that they're now able to use the hardware to be able to introduce ray tracing while still keeping that 4K. Well, it's at 30 FPS, which is still impressive because a lot of games that we've seen that utilize ray tracing tend to push 4K while focusing on about 30 FPS, maybe just a little bit above that. Some games are able to push the 4K 60 with ray tracing, but it's very few games. But still, what the team over there at Ninja Theory were able to do with everything is absolutely just mind blowing on what they're utilizing with just an older game. And if seeing and hearing kind of what they've done now, that kind of gives you an idea of what they're already going to be able to push out with the new one with Senua's Saga, right? And they already confirmed that one's now going to be running off Unreal Engine 5. So the fact of just how much work that they were able to do with their older titles and using that older engine, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next. But I have absolutely loved the game, and I thought it always looked amazing as it was. And I honestly cannot wait to get into that game and see what it looks like with ray tracing on.
Oh, dude, I streamed it the day that this dropped. Like, it was funny because I was thinking to myself, what's going on with Hellblade? Because, you know, they're Ninja Theory's first party now, like, and you're seeing these enhancements coming down the line, and I'm like, they're not giving Hellblade any love. And then, like, within 2 days after I was thinking that, they dropped this. Now, I'm going to point out the specifics for people when it comes down to it, in the modes and the console. So for the Series X, performance mode is dynamic up to 1080p at 120 hertz or 120 frames per second. Resolution mode is dynamic 4K at 60 frames per second. And the enriched graphics mode has ray tracing, dynamic up to 4K and 30 frames per second. And that is the Series X. Series S is performance mode is full HD at 60 frames per second. Resolution mode, dynamic up to 1440p at 30 frames per second. And then enriched graphics is ray trace, full HD, and 30 frames per second. And again, enriched graphics, they also talked about adding the foliage, adding fog, adding to textures as well. One of the things that I noticed on the Series S with enriched graphics, the light that was shining off of Senua, like her legs, she has kind of like a hide / leather type pant, and you can literally see kind of like the porousness in it. And how the light bounces off of that. It looks absolutely incredible, in my opinion. Crispy, did you get a chance? Did you get a chance? No?
I have enough games to play, and I also have a life. So thank you very much.
It's not a very long game, though.
It's not a very long game until you put those horrible puzzles into it. No, right? Those puzzles are pretty ridiculous. One thing I'll say is that the combat needed some FPS boost. Now, I definitely won't be playing it when I do at the 30 FPS. I won't be doing it because I need the movement to feel crisp. or crispy. as
Oh,
we like to call
goodness.
it.
I see what you did
But
there.
so the
Holy
point
shit.
is that you go and buy a next gen console, right? And you want the new bells and whistles. I mean, that's what we buy them for. I've had the bells and whistles for years, as long as I bought a new console. And all of a sudden, one console maker's like, "No, we're going to charge you for that." And I think that's where the problem lies. Is that a lot of people are like, "Oh, Hellblade's doing this. Oh, we want it on PlayStation as well." Well,
yeah, we're gonna talk
it's a
about
first
that
party
too, man.
studio. It's a first party studio. Why are we going to do that? It's blasphemy if one does it, but it's okay. Everything's fine if another does it. I don't understand the mentality that people think that Xbox is gonna be like, "Hey, here you go. We've developed it for this." First of all, Xbox clearly is using Unreal Engine 5 more than PlayStation. Anybody could tell me otherwise, and I will laugh at them. And
I will laugh at you.
Also, the best at making Unreal Engine look great is an Xbox studio. That is the Coalition.
Oh, goodness.
And they are hiring. They are hiring tenfold. If you look at Twitter, they are hiring tenfold. They are hiring. They are going to become a support dev. They're going to make sure that any of the other developers that use Unreal Engine understand their mentality about Unreal Engine. And as they go about it, of course, you're going to get Gear 6, and you're probably going to get a new IP down the road. But as far as I'm concerned, they're becoming a support dev. They have worked on Halo Infinite. Everybody's happy for the most part with Halo Infinite. They are going to be a big part of how Xbox bridges the gap between reality and being real. And I think that's what PlayStation's done very well. A lot of people feel that it's more realistic. And I think it starts with Unreal, and it starts with Hellblade. I think Hellblade 2 is going to be a masterpiece. It is going to be perfect. And I truly believe that the dev diaries, everything else, the amount of time and work and effort they're putting into this game, I think when it comes out, people are going to be blown away. And I'm going to stand by that.
I mean, to be fair, Crispy, that's how everyone felt with the first Hellblade, because of look at all the dev diaries and how they were focused on so much from the facial animation and the mocap to actually taking time to sit down with actual psychiatrists to go into understanding what goes to the mental aspect of for creating the story that they wanted to, for talking about psychosis and mental trauma and kind of things like that.
I'm not dumbing down the fact that
No, I'm not dumbing down, but what I'm saying is that
Hellblade is a even the amount I've played of it for what people should know about psychosis, about schizophrenia, stuff like that. It is a beautiful game because it really makes you, as a person that doesn't deal with this, understand what that person's going through. And I think that's amazing. And the point I'm trying to make is that they're gonna broaden that spectrum. I think you're gonna see less puzzles. I think you're gonna see more gameplay, as we like to call it. Like, I love gameplay, and I think that's where I lost myself with Hellblade, is that the puzzles, stuff like that, I would more have like traversal puzzles. You know what I mean? Like traversing, and then like Doom Eternal, like Tomb Raider, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I like those type of things, but that's not to say that they couldn't add both and still have those voices in your head.
Crispy,
Which
I think your lady.
I think it's going to be a masterpiece, dude. I think it's going to be ridiculous.
I think your lady would love Hellblade. You should introduce her and see if she likes it.
She's played it. She can't take all of the talking.
Oh,
She
really?
can't. She starts losing
her
mind. And then and then she gets into the puzzles, which are very frustrating at times. Certain parts of that game are very frustrating. She got farther than me because I was like, I'm not doing this. Like the fighting, a lot of people hated. It's okay, but you know, the whole purpose of it is to make it feel visceral and also like, you know, involve the sound that's going in your head. And I felt that, but I also got frustrated at points because I didn't understand where the voices were trying to point me. And I think they could work on that.
That's the whole point, because
Yeah,
they weren't pointing. They were telling you different things. Like, they weren't pointing you in any direction.
But you know, I'm trying to analyze the whole thing, and what I feel like is that, like, if there was a little more fighting with a better, you know, combat system, a little bit better. I'm not saying it wasn't. It definitely wasn't perfect, but it wasn't horrible. Like, I actually, when I killed something, I felt, you know, like invigorated, like, yeah, let's go. And then it kind of like dropped off, and then it's like, okay, we're going to go do this now, and it's going to involve these voices in your head, and there's like 15 of them, it felt like at some points. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, you're telling me to do this. I hear these cries and whatever, and I'm like, but I still don't know what to do. And I think
and you
they
always
can
have
work
one
on
voice
that.
telling
And
you
I think,
you're doing it wrong as well, which is great.
yeah,
Like, I love that.
yeah. No, and I do like that, but I feel like they could kind of like, you know, make them less convoluted, like just a little bit. I'm not saying like, you know, take away from the game itself, but also like I feel like it's going to be like a more like high-end battle. Like, I feel like there's going to be set pieces in this game that are going to be like huge battles.
Oh, they are.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really important to people. You know what I mean? Like, and then as long as they get the gameplay, the fighting mechanics really like perfect the way they want to, because I like I said, when I battled the demons, as I like to call them, you know, when I battled them, actually, and there was multiple of them, once I learned the controls and everything, I felt really like invigorated, like, let's go to the next one. But they kind of like lost that, and I feel like they'll get there because like how much time they're taking on it at this point.
Crispy, just think about this. Like, think about any of the fighting you ever done in that game, and then imagine if she was just seeing things, and if she was just like killing people at random, like running through the woods, and like, hey, there are people trying to defend themselves because she's coming up with like a sword.
Dude, that's actually really weird, because like you think about it, like it's possible.
It's possible.
Like I've watched so many movies where like that type of shit has happened, and I can't, like, dude, like you could even look at like, all right, we'll go to the Dark Knight, like the way the Joker treats people.
Oh yes.
Like you think about it, like he's just in this mental insanity status, and I mean, imagine if she went there and like just started killing people and not even realizing it.
And that's
like,
what she was seeing in her
I don't
mind.
care.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. And when it comes to Hellblade 2, leave it up to Crispy to somehow, some way, get the coalition and to talk about Gears real quick on a topic. Guys, you knew it was going to happen at some point in time, but he did it with this one. And when it comes to Hellblade 2, I think people are going to be in for a big surprise, because I don't think it's going to be like the original Hellblade. I think they see it as a franchise, and they're going to go in on a more kind of like a way bigger like scope in terms of fighting and adventure and stuff like that. But of course, having her psychosis in there as well, I think we're going to be in for a big surprise when they reveal the game, like the gameplay of Hellblade 2. But Mr. Midway, my golfing buddy over here, what did you get a chance to check out Hellblade with the enhancements on your Series S, bro?
I have not had a chance yet. I've had a
guys
pretty
all
busy week
failed.
going on.
You guys all failed, okay?
but I will be going back into it because 60 frames is my mantra now when it comes to video games. Since I played Gears 4 on the 1X back in the day, it was like, what have I been doing with my life? So I'm very interested and intrigued to see how how they did the enhancements and all that, because I think this will probably be like the first Digital Foundry video that I'll ever watch if they ever do like a comparison between Series X ray tracing and Series S ray tracing, because we
Ooh.
really haven't had anything like that before. So, especially with ray tracing, I feel like give me another game where you feel like something's been used on Xbox that ray tracing has been like really brought up. I can't think of much or anything. It's been a very sparse. Obviously with Xbox, we're waiting for the new
Watch Dogs
ray
Legion
tracing
has
to
ray
come out.
tracing on the Series S, by the way.
Okay, so I'd like to see. I don't know if they did they do a comparison video
No,
between the
I don't
Series
think
X
so.
and S?
No, I
So
don't think so.
So yeah, I would like to see. I'd like to start seeing like that comparison, just to see like what I have going for me. So, but yeah, and Ninja Theory and I think Xbox with their emphasis on game preservation. Um, I was kind of surprised that they did these enhancements for it, but at the same time, again with the game preservation, it's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? A reinforcing, which is nice to see. So
Solidifying, cementing, reinforcing.
I like I like those words. I like those words. They they they're following through on something that the head of Xbox has brought up. So I mean, it's nice to see, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Are you disappointed that they didn't come out with a director's cut and charge people for the enhancements?
No, I'm not.
No?
Oh shit.
Which is something. Which there's a lot of things in the wording, right? The little wording of things, right? So, and there is something that one of our topics we'll probably get into where wording is going to be important. So, but I with Ninja Theory, I think, and the one thing I like with this is, I feel like there's a lot of internal competition going on now. You got Coalition doing Unreal Engine 5 stuff, Ninja Theory doing Unreal Engine 5 stuff, Forza Horizon, who with what they've done is amazing with what the quality of what that game is going to become, and they're not even using Unreal Engine 5 right now.
Dude, anytime I watch the gameplay from their live streams with Forza Horizon 5, man, like I look at that background, it is so incredibly detailed. The rocks, the gravel, like oh my goodness, bro.
I'm baffled, and that's supposed to be running on a Xbox One Fat. Like I'm baffled. So it's the quality is, I think, with the major studios that we have, and obviously we haven't seen anything from any of the other smaller studios yet, like In Exile and all that. So I mean, the quality is definitely something that I'm looking forward to.
Nice. Yo, shout out to Sir X, man. What is up, brother? Now, you don't need to come in here with your PC Master Race Bible and be like, have you heard the good news? That, he is playing Hellblade on his PC at 144 frames per second. Now, Sir X-Man, where's the ray tracing, though? That's all I gotta ask, Sir X-Man. Did you see it with ray tracing?
And is he playing at 4K or is he playing at 1080p?
He's playing at 480p is what's going on. Yeah.
480i or 480p?
Yeah, not even not interlaced. We'll give him the 480p, okay?
Yeah, we'll give him the P. Yeah, we'll give him the P.
But guys, check this out, man. Our brother Predator has joined us. Predator, what is up, bro?
Not much, man. What's going on with you guys? I don't know what we're talking about, but it sounds like it's a nice topic.
Dude, it was funny when you started laughing, man. We are talking about Hellblade and the brand new Series S, Series X enhancements. Have you been able to try that, bro?
No, because I played on PC at 480p.
No, Sir X-Man. Like,
no, I'm trying to be funny, but I'm really being serious at the same time. Like, I actually played on PC, so like when it came out, and yeah, I didn't really. Actually, to be fair, when I played it, I did not have the setup in my PC that I have now. But I had no desire to go back and replay that game on the Xbox with all the enhancements. Nothing against Microsoft for doing it, but I'm ready for new shit. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to check out the better textures and the ray tracing. I'm not sure. Do they have that on PC? Yo, Sir X-Man, do they have the ray tracing option and everything on PC, or is this just Series S, Series X enhancements?
I think that came out before the 2080, if I'm not mistaken. That came out like, what, 3 years ago? I don't even know if ray tracing was a thing back then.
Yeah,
when Hellblade came out, to be honest with you. So like, unless they updated it, enhanced it as well, I don't think it had ray tracing.
There is a possibility that when it comes to graphically, the game
it's probably running better on the X.
Runs better on the Series X. Oh my goodness, Sir X-Man, what you got to say about that, bro?
My Steam real quick, but and I wasn't planning on being here today, so I don't know what the topics are. So if I get ahead of anything that we're going to discuss, just tell me to shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up, Brad.
Dude, he didn't get ahead of anything.
Just sending it out.
Like, okay.
I know, because I was going to start talking about it, because you asked me a question, and all you did was ask me if I played it. But I kind of heard a little bit what Midway was saying before about how it's like a competition between some of the companies. And we've talked about this before, kind of, sort of, in the past. I've said, when you see these companies making these upgrades like this for games, like from the past, it's because they're practicing for the future. You know, they're getting ready to come out with Hellblade. So it's like, you know, hey, let's play with this, see what we can do before we put the game out by messing around with an older title to see, you know, what we can and can't tweak for this new title. So that's how I look at it. When I see all these guys doing enhancements for old games, they're basically just practicing for what they're going to, you know, practicing with the tools they're going to be able to use, and what they could have done, and as they're getting ready to come out with a newer game. That's how I look at it. So
You're not wrong there, though, Predator. But at the same time, you also got to think that they have some experience already, because you look at what most of the devs have said, and even look at what the coalition themselves have said. Unreal Engine 5 is much easier to port over models and experience and stuff from Unreal Engine 4 compared to what they went from 3 to 4. They said 3 to 4 was very different, so they weren't able to do a lot of the upgrades and stuff that they wanted with using models that they had in 4, even being able to fix things up that were done in Unreal 3. But they said that 5 is much more backwards compatible and able to use a lot of what they've done in 4 and use it, and a lot of the stuff that's in 4 is going to obviously be in 5. So them being able to see, hey, let's see what we can push with this, gives them the practice, which is like, okay, well, if we were able to do this here, then there should be no issues in the next engine, which they've already confirmed they're using Unreal 5 for Senua Saga.
Yeah.
Case in point, that's why BioWare couldn't or wouldn't take the Legendary Collection from 3 to 4 because of the time, and it would have been an extra year for them to put out the Legendary Collection. Can I talk?
No.
Can I talk right now?
This is so weird. When we're golfing, like you're coming right off, like you know, all shots firing, and now it's like somebody put glue in the toast you were eating, and you're bleh.
They had this rag, and they said, "Excuse me, is this chloroform?" And then they put it in my face. So
does this smell like chloroform?
So yeah, the reason why BioWare didn't go from 3 to 4 was because the time it would take is a lot more challenging. So that's why they kept it on Unreal Engine 3. Right. Yeah. So 4 to 5 if it's a smoother transition, you could just see the excitement that people have for porting games. So that was my point. But geez,
Okay. All right. Well, and we all know Dark Optimus is a Hellblade hater. Isn't that right, Dark?
Yep.
Absolute
Yeah.
hater. So I'm pretty sure you probably, you haven't played it, so all that good stuff. But
I played it. I played it before.
Yeah, no. That doesn't count, sir.
Yeah, but I don't need to play it again.
All right. Well, Dark, I'm gonna ask you this, and then after your answer, anybody else on the panel can kind of like chime in and all that good stuff. But Dark, what do you think about the people out there that they want these enhancements for the PlayStation 5 as well? There are some really upset people out there when it comes to Hellblade, because we all know it first came out on PlayStation. Later on, it came over to Xbox. But Ninja Theory is now first party. People are saying it is anti-consumer that they didn't put out PlayStation 5 enhancements as well. What do you got? What do you think? What do you got to say about that, bro?
Well, I think it's anti-consumer for them to put out a director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, well.
And Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So,
And then charge for controller functions. I'm just saying.
Yep. No, honestly, dude, I think people were really blowing this one out of proportion. It's like earlier this week I saw the whole, what was it? It was like on Twitter. It was God, I can't remember. I remembered it before we came on the show, but now I can't remember it. But yeah, this whole thing is always getting, it's gonna get blown out of proportion. People are gonna be like, ooh, they're gonna be all upset, and then guess what? And like a week from now, no one's even gonna care. No one's even gonna say a word. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay. They'll move on to the next game that they play. Like Psychonauts 2 is coming out next week. Guess what? People are gonna either love it or they're gonna hate it, and the people who love it are gonna praise it, and the people who hate it, they're gonna talk about it and say that it fucking sucks. And then, guess what? Next week they're gonna move on. And they're not even gonna talk about it anymore. So it's just
People who love it will keep talking about it. That's for sure.
yeah, the people who love it will be talking about it for sure. Like us, people like that play,
Weird games
that play it and love it, and yeah, weird
Play
games.
games.
Like people like you and me, bot. We'll probably be talking about it a lot.
Oh, dude, I cannot
but,
wait. That game looks so
Yeah, dude, I can't wait.
badass.
I've waited 15 years for that game.
I know,
I'm
man.
so excited.
It's gonna be so sick.
It is.
And that's the thing. Like, people are just like completely are just like really. Oh, you know what? I remember what it was. It was the Life is Strange remastered being delayed. I saw two people on Twitter try to make a fucking big deal out of it. I'm just like, who gives a shit? It's an old ass game. Like, who cares? like if you haven't played it already, then you're not going to play it. Like, it's so stupid, man. I swear. Like, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like,
You're not wrong there, Dark. I played the original, and I'm just like, yo, I'm excited for the remaster because I want to see how it looks all nice and enhanced. I was like, but I played the original, so of course I'm excited for it. I was like, I like what Donut has done with that universe. But anyone who's complaining about it being delayed, you're not wrong. It's just like, obviously you didn't care because that game's been out for what, 5-6 years?
exactly.
I was like, and been on almost 3 generations. Consoles or something. I was like, you would have had a chance, multiple opportunities to play it if you wanted to play it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
With you guys
But no,
talking about this, you
they
just
have to
reminded me.
play.
I have to finish. Tell me why, because like I can't let that story just hang. I gotta see.
It's pretty good.
I gotta see it to the end.
It's not as good as Life is Strange. I don't think. It's pretty good.
It was,
I'd say, each story themselves are connected to the universe, but they each stand out for different reasons. It's why, the Adventures of Captain Spirit was so different than what you expected out of, Life is Strange or even Life is Strange 2. because of the fact that they
Right.
have different stories. I was like, and kind of going back to the whole delay, I was like, so what? It got delayed, but guess what? They're giving in return. They're delaying it because they're like, hey, we're gonna make the DLC that we wanted to do as an additional story for the main game. We're gonna try and put it out sooner, so we're gonna push
Right.
this back so we can focus on that. I was like, people are just weird.
Yeah, that's just what's so weird about it. Luckily, I didn't see too many people being like that, but there were some. I was like, okay, guys. And it's the same thing with the Hellblade. It's like, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, who cares at this point? You know? It's so crazy.
Let's get Crispy and Pred involved in the conversation as well. What do you guys think? People are out there upset that there isn't going to be a PlayStation 5 version with the enhancements for Hellblade, which is now the developer's first party Xbox now. Like, what do you guys think about this, man? Like, they're really starting some ish over there on Twitter and such, man.
Deal with it. That's what I say.
Just deal with it.
Just deal with it. Hey, I don't get to play Ratchet and Clank on my Xbox, right?
Hey,
Ghost of Tsushima can't play it on my Xbox.
I'm not gonna get a remaster of Sunset Overdrive either. You know?
Well, there you go. It is what it is. Like, I'm not saying that like I like it, but hey, one's playing hardball and they have been forever. They don't even want to do crossplay half the time.
Ooh.
And the other's like, oh, it's cool to do crossplay, especially if it's a third-party dev. Like, hey, like we'll try to do what we can, and the other's like, nah, we ain't doing that. Or it's like a fight. Like it's like let's throw those bare knuckles out there and let's fight it out. Like, dude, there's no need. It's fucking video games. Like, I look at Xbox at this point, and it's like.
I saw somebody on social media like, I will find out where you live, and I'm like, wow, really? Like,
and that's the whole point, dude. It's fucking video games, dude. Like, I don't like when people sit here and try to like trash one console because they apparently think the other is doing better. No. How about you say, okay, you know what? Ghost of Tsushima has a DLC. That's cool, right? So how about you charge just for that? And how about you give the PS5 owners, the people that may have bought it on PlayStation 4, which it really came out at the end of the generation, people just like, oh, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Everything's fine. Okay, so you bought it on PS4, and you're gonna pay $10 when you bought a PS5. We don't do that. Like I've said before, any of my favorite games, including Gears 5, if you told me that you're going to charge me for other shit, I'd be pissed. And I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Even if it came with a new DLC, though?
No. You want to charge me for a DLC is totally different. I don't have to deal with that. It's on Game Pass. Guess what? That's what happens now. So I don't have to deal with it to begin with. I never bought the game to begin with. I subscribed to Game Pass, and I got Gears 5 day and date. I played the beta, everything else. And guess what? It was all on Game Pass. All right? This is where the null and void argument of, oh, how dare you, take Hellblade and be like, oh, you don't get the upgrades. Well, are we serious? They're a first-party studio now. Like, are we ignoring that fact, or are we just going to act like it's nothing? Because I don't expect Returnal to come to Xbox. I don't expect Ratchet and Clank to come to Xbox. I don't expect God of War to come to Xbox. If I want those experiences, I will purchase that said console. So why in God's name do you expect a company that spent billions of dollars to go and say, oh, here's Starfield, oh, here's Elder Scrolls, oh, here's this, here's that, No, they're not going to do that. But the one difference is that Xbox is saying, hey, it's going to PC. Hey, it's on Game Pass. That's the difference. And a lot of people want to ignore that fact, but that's the damn truth. They are letting you play what you want, except for a damn console. Okay? Maybe it comes to Switch down the road. You don't know that. But at least Nintendo's been playing, you know, like, hey, like, you know what? Ori's a really good game to have on our console. Let's do this. You know what I mean? At least they're at least looking at what Xbox is giving and saying, you know what? You guys want to play? We'll play too. We want to play games. And you know what? That's cool. Because not everything's meant for the Switch. You know what I mean? But like a game like Ori, absolutely works probably really well on the Switch. And that's the whole point. Like I see diversity. I see people loving Death's Door, The Ascent. Even this is where we go and say meta who, motherfucker. Meta who? Dude, like you gotta understand, like, if you enjoy a game, freaking enjoy it. If you love The Last of Us 2, I ain't gonna hate you for it. I'm not that type of person that likes those type of games. I've seen enough of it. I've watched 2 to 3 hours of somebody that really enjoyed it, and I said, I'm not into it. There's too many cutscenes. There's too much. Dude, Death Stranding drove me the fucking nuts, dude. Okay? That is the last PlayStation exclusive that I played. It drove me nuts. Days Gone, definitely interested in that game. If it ever came to Xbox, absolutely, I would fucking try it. But that's the beauty of Game Pass. You don't have to sit there and say, I'm going to drop this amount of money. All you say is, I'm already subscribed, I get this game. And I think that's where Microsoft is going to win in the end.
Not for anything, but if Sony ever let Game Pass on the PlayStation, then these enhancements would be playable on the PlayStation as well. Phil Spencer said you will play these games whatever platform supports Game Pass. Remember that. So like that's what it's all about now. But
the fact is that he's already come out and said that no, PlayStation and Nintendo have very openly said no, they don't want their competition subscription service on their platform.
Yeah, well, that's on them though. You know what I'm saying?
I get where you're coming from, but I'm just saying that we all say, well, if they decide to allow it, it's like no, it's like they've been very vocal about not wanting that to happen.
Yo, guys, shout out to my brother RG Viper X. If you're seeing the gameplay right now, this is some really, really intense Connect 4 being played in A Way Out. Definitely, shout out to him. It was between me and him. I won a few. He won a few. It was a good night. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, bro. But,
hey, listen, Connect 4 is intense. It gets real in that game.
Dude, 4th and 5th grade, I remember anytime we had a chance with free time, man, I would pull out the Connect 4 and see who wanted to go. Who wanted to go, man? Like, I absolutely loved that game. Like I said, back in the day, back in school. But yeah. So.
You went to school?
Yes, yeah. Dude, I went to a Catholic school eventually, which is kind of crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, but let's get into, I guess you could say, one of the heavier pieces of news to drop, and that is, this does relate to gaming because Bloody pointed some things out to me, but Sony has purchased Crunchyroll now. Now Sony owns Crunchyroll, and is it Funimation as well?
Yes, it's Funimation.
Yeah, so basically those are under Sony now. Now, at first I was like, well, it is what it is. That to me, that is a power move right there, because anime has done nothing but, within the past years, just has grown and grown and grown in popularity. Now, I remember way back when I used to watch Dragon Ball, like, I would say, yeah, no, I saw this and this on Dragon Ball, and people would look at me funny. Nowadays, man, you can talk about, so many anime shows that you're watching. It is just blown up, and now Sony is pretty much, dare I say, they're the monopoly holders when it comes to anime content. Now, Bloody, I gotta ask what you think about this acquisition by Sony. I think it was a huge move for them because from what I'm hearing, they're gonna add Crunchyroll to PlayStation Plus subscriptions. So that, to me, that's absolutely huge right there. That, like, my son was even joking around and he was like, "Man, looks like I got to get a PlayStation now." Until he heard about the director's cuts and everything like that, and he's like, "Maybe not." But Bloody, let me know what you think about this acquisition, and then let the people know how this could possibly affect games, especially the anime games. I know I'm looking forward to Demon Slayer coming out in October. I cannot wait to play that game. Absolutely love that show as well, and the movie was absolutely bananas, people. But let people know what effect this might have when it comes to games within the anime kind of like sector, bro.
Oh, kind of to give a lot of clarification for those who don't understand first, is that Sony for the longest time has been the owner of Funimation, and for those who don't know what Funimation is, it is a distributor for anime content here in the West. Now, the biggest thing about what Funimation does is that they are the sole distributor of English-dubbed anime content here in the Western market, from the U.S. all the way to the U.K. and Europe. And it's stationed here in Texas. Funimation is one of the biggest studios out here that does that. And that has been solely owned by Sony for years. And they have these sole distribution rights for any English-dubbed content out this way. There have been other smaller distributors that have tried to release content. However, it's all paled in comparison to the control that they have thanks to Funimation. Now, about a year ago, there was note that Warner Media AT&T was wanting to sell their controls of Crunchyroll, and that they were selling it for several billion. And at the time, there was no interested parties when they first made the offer. And after a little bit of talking, Sony said that, yeah, we'll negotiate, but we're not going to pay. I think they said originally it was like $3 billion that they wanted. And then after discussing, they dropped it down to the 1.75 or something like that to basically own it. Well, the thing about it is that Crunchyroll is the de facto and the largest streaming service and distributor for anime content. Now, the thing about this is the fact that they are the largest streaming service that was solely focused on anime to be able to bring it over to Western audiences as well as on a global scale, because Crunchyroll has actually grown to the point of that they are a global streaming service in most regions. It is still not available in every region, but it is available in most regions. However, back in December, there was a major stopgap on it as the FCC wanted to ensure that there was no monopoly holding on this from the original purchase. So they actually stopped it for well over a year before now being finalized. And the reason that it has been kind of okayed is the fact that Sony used the excuse of that there are other digital media distributors that are bigger than they are that have more digital content. So even if they were to acquire another large distributor, that they would not have controlling share, which in the eyes of the FCC is fair, because you look at a distributor like Netflix has the largest market share because it was the biggest streaming service, because it was also one of the first. Look at the growth of Disney Plus and other things like that. They're digital media content distributors. And when you look at the market share that they have, yes, Sony acquiring Crunchyroll is not going to take away the significant market share compared to those. However, people are only looking at it as the excuse and the appeal that they made to the FCC. What people are not understanding is that while you may be looking at it under digital media content, this is the fact that it is strictly focused on anime content. They now have the two biggest distributors for anime-focused content in the West. They have the main distributor, which releases all English content that is focused here in the US, and now they have the largest company that distributes and actually works with the distributors and other companies there in Japan. Crunchyroll has direct relationships and partnerships with companies like Kadokawa, Toei Animation, Kodansha, and a lot of others. Those companies are actually the ones who create the content because they're the ones who own the mangas and light novels and are the ones who are responsible for making deals to other distributors or other services that will help to release the content. So the fact is now they have a direct tie to those companies that already has established relationships. Now, I've spoken in the past is that Bandai has been one of the biggest companies that has sole merchandising rights for a lot of anime content outside of Japan. They're the one who makes most anime style games.
Yes.
They're also the one who releases most memorabilia. They're the ones who typically releases all sorts of statues and a lot of statues as well as a lot of collectibles. Yes, they're small.
Know that about Bandai, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, and Bandai has the majority of all merchandising rights for most anime content outside of Japan. Now, there are other companies that will be occasionally able to work out small-time deals for some games. Look at what Koei Tecmo did when they did the Attack on Titan games, as well as what we're seeing right now. Sega got the license to do the Demon Slayer game.
Yes.
The biggest thing that this does is that it does give them a very massive control over the anime market. And they're the ones who are now going to have first dibs when talking with these distributors for any exclusive content or being able to release it in the West, as well as if they're able to kind of utilize the fact that, hey, we also not only do have the streaming services, but hey, guess what? We can put it directly into a lot of our platforms and being able to get other ways to make it easily accessible to audiences and more appeal to get more people to be able to play or check it out, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what people are not understanding. This gives them a very big leverage to be able to get access to a lot of those. Now, people were saying that calling this a monopoly is not right, that people are just throwing that word around, and people were wanting to say this is more of an oligarchy. No, it's not. People who don't use that word and don't understand what it means, an oligarchy is what telecommunications companies are. An oligarchy is the illusion of competition, because it basically says, me, you, and Otter all share this city, right? I'll take the north side, you take south side, and he gets a little bit of the east, and we'll split the west between me and you. Well, he's just like, hey, I want to get more customers, and I said, you know what? I'll raise the prices in this part of the north side if you lower them, and you could take that part and keep it for 2 years, and then raise your prices, and then I'll take it back. We basically keep just switching areas over time, but we're all working together saying, hey, I'm going to raise my prices here if you lower your prices there and then give me this area. They all work together. That's why if you look at every major metro city, there's always the 5 big telecommunications companies and 5 big ISPs that run everything. That's why when a new company comes out, it's hard for them to break out because they're being choked out because of this. Because they don't have the money
of the club, basically.
Exactly. That's what an oligarchy is. This is not what Sony is doing. They are now the sole proprietors of a majority of all digital distribution content when it comes to anime. And there's also gives them early rights to being able to work with these companies for anything outside of just anime content. That also gives them abilities to work out when it comes to physical media, which is things like merchandising, which they then have to work through with what Bandai already has set up with a lot of companies, as well as any potential exclusive deals for any other content that isn't streaming related. That's what people are failing to understand when it comes to this deal and why it's such a big thing that isn't being properly looked at.
Now, of course, we're a gaming podcast, Bloody, and you know that you're a part of GRG and whatnot. So, on the gaming side of this, basically what you're saying is Sony will have dibs, will have first kind of like call on anime gaming content as well for the most part, and where they could decide that we want this content strictly on PlayStation, and they can be heavy-handed about that and get basically anime content as exclusive on PlayStation. Am I reading this wrong, or is that pretty much what could happen?
It's not heavy-handed. It just gives them more of the leverage because of the fact that they'll be working with these companies already with distributing a lot of their merchandise, because you think that a lot of these companies have to go through other subsidiaries. Look at Kadokawa is a big distributor for manga content there in Japan. They do distribute out in the West, but they have to go through other companies to help get out a majority of their distribution when it comes to publishing their light novels and mangas. One of the biggest companies that does that is Viz Media. Viz Media also is able to help out with does a lot of distribution for anime. However, they still had to go and work with other companies while they distribute. They are mainly license holders and help to be able to get more companies out. You think Viz Media is the company that oversees like Tokyo Ghoul, My Hero Academia, One Piece, and a lot of those others. But they still work directly with Crunchyroll and other places to be able to get that kind of content out, right? So this just helps to boost Sony's relationship already, because of the fact that now they're like, hey, we're already distributing and helping to push your content on day launches and being able to get it streamed to a global media and more of a global market. We can help out in more ways than just promoting your anime. So this kind of gives them a little bit more chips at the table when it comes to talks. And that's the biggest thing about it, is that there's many different aspects of what this deal can entail. But right now, the focus, when you look at it on the anime side of things, is that this gives them a controlling share over distribution in the West and global market, now that they have the two biggest platforms on where those streaming services go through.
That is absolutely insane. That is definitely like... And I know there might be people in the chat, anime might not be a you thing, but I don't think you can ignore the fact that over the years, I've seen it grow, I've seen it build over the years over here in the West, and anime is a huge thing now over here, and now Sony is basically, they're surrounding their name with all of it, global, Western, everything. It's all kind of like Sony is at the table for absolutely everything anime. Shout out to Dirt Griggity, by the way, hitting up that super chat. Guys, guess what? It's true. The super chat does indeed work. Thank you, brother, for hitting up that super chat. And basically, he's just saying hi. He's like, "What's up? What's up, y'all? Yo, what is good? What is going on, Dirt? It is good to see you, bro. Good to see you in the chat." But
to real quick to add on is the fact of that Cali Rex mentioned that Sony already had connections with Japan thanks to Aniplex. Yes, they own Aniplex because that's one of their production companies. Remember that that's one of their distributions, because that's mainly a production company. That's why when you see a lot of animes that are made by Aniplex, they're one of the companies that says, hey, we need a team that wants to work on this project. We're producing it. That's where it comes from. But the fact is that Aniplex still has to go through those streaming services and have to still set up deals with distributors. Now that the fact that their parent company alone owns owns the biggest rights to the biggest streaming service. They don't have to worry. So now they're able to do a lot more with it. I was like, Aniplex had to help work out those deals when it comes to where they were going to release that content. But yes, they were a production house.
My whole thing here when it comes to it, and again, gaming podcast, so I got to keep it gaming on this. Like, if Sony owns all the doors for this content to come out, then that means like they can do whatever they want in order to get for that content to come out to the public. So when it comes to games, to me, it's like I'm concerned that they will try to stockpile and hold kind of like the future anime games. Now, Demon Slayer, it's already coming out multiple platforms, all that good stuff. But moving into the future, and Bloody, like I said, I've gotten more and more into anime. Shout out to my son, Mr. Mad Skills, who got me into it. Started with Black Clover, and I've been hooked ever since, man. I just started One Piece, by the way, which is going to take me forever. There's so many episodes in that show. But that's my whole concern is that, when it comes to this growing kind of like category of entertainment, that it's just going to be funneled through Sony and, possibly only on PlayStation. So who else on the panel wants to tackle this? What do you do? You think I'm just reading into the tea leaves too much? Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Where Sony might have had like they had a quick step, man, in getting in and capturing possibly a category of content and games that is just growing so much right now.
You definitely have a tinfoil hat on
it. Really? Why do you say that, bro?
I'm just kidding. Honestly, dude,
all I heard is TV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's basically what I heard. I didn't really.
That's what I heard.
I've never been an anime fan, so I can't really talk about this. But like, I do enjoy JRPGs, so I can kind of talk from that aspect. That would really like let's just say Tales of Arise, was an anime. Well, it is an anime kind of game, and it was only it was being distributed by only PlayStation. I could see a problem with that, where it's like, well, PlayStation's only going to get this game, but it should have been, luckily it isn't. It's a multiplayer. It's just I don't really know what to say about this because I'm not into anime at all. So it's just kind of like,
dude,
for me it's just kind of like I don't see it yet, I don't
you don't
see
necessarily have to be into anime. Dark, you've seen it out there how anime over the years has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So now you have a company coming in. Cali Rex was talking about Aniplex. Basically production. Mm-hmm. You see Crunchyroll and Funimation for distribution. Do you see like Sony is like grabbing every little chess piece around the board to kind of, to me it looks like kind of like shelter this content and to use it as they see fit because they control all the doors here on how this content is getting out to the public, and to me that includes games as well.
Yeah, and that's a little concerning because, it's if all these games come out like the next Demon Slayer game or the next Attack on Titan game comes out, it could be a huge issue that it's only going to be on PlayStation. And that's not going to be good because those games have come out on both Xbox and PlayStation, and they've done well. From what I know of,
it is a great marketing move if you can have your console be known as the place for anime. Not only you got Crunchyroll with your PlayStation Plus subscription. You know that the games coming down the pipeline are basically guaranteed to come to PlayStation. There is a huge demographic out there that get into anime. To me, that is a huge move. That there's people out there that will downplay it just because they're not into anime. But anime is a big thing, guys. It is huge out there. Like, and to see Sony kind of like grab it like this, to me, it definitely is a monopoly, man. And it is kind of crazy to see this going on. But
it also goes to show you, like, the people who allowed it to happen.
Well,
what does that say about them?
I mean, to me, it looked like a loophole, and they just didn't necessarily understand that, maybe controlling one category isn't necessarily a monopoly, but it's a monopoly within that category of something that's growing exponentially, out there in the public in terms of popularity, man.
Yeah, and it continues to grow, so it's like what's going to happen, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this, especially because it's like, are they gonna like keep certain quote unquote consoles from utilizing this?
Yeah,
because I mean, I think Crunchyroll's on Xbox, isn't it?
Dude, app? Yeah, I watch Crunchyroll on Xbox. Every dinner that I have with my son, if I'm not not working or anything like that, but that's what we do. We don't sit at the kitchen table. We sit at the couch and we watch anime when we have dinner. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
It is on Xbox too, but you also got to think too. The fact in the past is that Crunchyroll has actually done partnerships with Xbox where they've given away like free month subscriptions and stuff like that in the past. So that kind of deal, kind of like what we've seen with the Xbox Ultimate Perks, where we've seen like with Disney Plus getting free months and stuff like that. Crunchyroll is definitely never going to be in one of those deals again.
Wow, which kind of sucks. I mean that's really shitty, to be honest. I mean, especially for you guys who enjoy anime. I kind of can see it from the gaming aspect, like that would suck if because I mean, honestly, I think there's a lot of Xbox gamers who enjoy JRPGs or enjoy
Me.
Yeah, you especially. Hey Mega, I know K Mega definitely likes JRPGs. He likes them, just about as much as you do, Bloody. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to have anything, which I mean they probably will, if they're going to have anything to do with stopping these games from coming to multiple consoles. Which, I mean, if they own the company, I mean, it would be a smart business move to just allow it on everything, because then you make more money, But we'll see.
Nice. Predator, you like to jump into the business side of things. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, I feel like Sony strategically is kind of like, forming a stronghold around, a section of content that again is becoming more and more popular year after year. And the thing I'm looking at it is, if they hold all the doors for distribution, again, with being in gaming, what's to stop them from saying, you know what? Oh yeah, that anime is growing in popularity. That game's only coming to PlayStation. Oh, that anime, like, oh yeah, that game's coming to PlayStation, and kind of like just dictating and kind of like forming a marketing that PlayStation is the anime console. Am I looking too deep into this, bro? With your kind of like, with your viewpoint, man?
I guess you'd have to actually look at how the deal was done. I could see where you're coming from, though, because that's a huge possibility. As far as it goes with anime, like, I mean, we just had a topic talking about Hellblade, and everybody's consensus was, well, Microsoft owns it; they can do what the fuck they want to it with it. And this is the same scenario. You're like, Sony bought them outright, and if they choose to do that, that's on them. It sucks that it could happen. Um, if they're smart, and they put those games out for those companies, and they put them out on just PlayStation and make them exclusives. If they're smart, they wouldn't do that with stuff like some of the games that have already been like the come out historically come out on other consoles. Like I could see them keeping some of that stuff to themselves, but to maximize their money, they would probably want to keep it on every console because again, you're looking at, don't confuse the studios that make the shows with the studios that make the games, because like Crunchyroll doesn't make games, Sony does, right? But Crunchyroll can still outsource that stuff to other companies to make games. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
They could still do that. Like give me a game that they've made.
Well, Crunchyroll themselves also already have their own production studio to make games. They make a lot of mobile games. Right now, they have the Konosuba mobile game. Right now, they've kind of expanded into that.
Give me a console game though for that they've come out with that's like from an anime side, that's gone to all platforms. That's popular.
Probably the biggest ones. If there's an anime that's gone multi-plat, it's probably you have Attack on Titan, and then you have Sword Art Online. But Sword Art Online was exclusive for several games before they released the last one, which was what, Fatal Bullet?
Yes, sir.
You lost me. But yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who made the Tecmo made the game Attack on Titan, right?
Koei Tecmo, yeah. Tecmo did.
Yeah, and they basically have sided with Sony on pretty much everything they've done in the past anyway. But
and the same could be said with Bandai. Bandai is, and there's a reason anyone who's followed me for any length of time known is that I have a massive love-hate relationship with Bandai. I love a lot of the games that come from Bandai, but they're also the worst about picking and choosing what games they make as multiplats, and then what games are going to release on basically every platform that's not Xbox. And especially when it comes to anime.
I can't use any Bandai gameplay in this show or anything like that. They jump on me real quick and they're like, "Oh no, we want that money."
Yeah.
I would just be curious to see how they go forward, because like typically there's a deal made with, let's say I'm gonna use Attack on Titan as an example, for Koei Tecmo to make those specific games that it lasts a long time, like a couple of years, whatever, or maybe they own certain rights to make that game. So I can't answer that question as far as the gaming aspect goes, how that plays out, because I really don't know. But if that ends ever, then Sony could easily be like, okay, we'll publish it now. Now we own this under Crunchyroll's hat, and we're gonna take over development and publishing for this game, and that's a valid concern, if you're looking at just from the gaming aspect. But like I said, from the last topic that I didn't get to speak on because you skipped me, like
I had to make you feel at
they
home.
Own it. I know, it's fine. I figured you just forgot I was here. They own it, and just like with the stuff that Microsoft has done, like you can't be the pot calling the kettle black. Like they own it, they can do what they want with it, and that goes for the same with the things that Microsoft has purchased in the past too. So like we can't have it both sides. So it sucks that I actually didn't think this deal was going to go through, because it seemed like it was taking forever. And I've asked the question a couple times, like what's going on with this Crunchyroll thing, just to see if I could kind of spark a little conversation. But no one's really popping in and saying anything. But I was kind of concerned that it wasn't going to go through, that maybe they're like, okay, it's a monopoly, and then boom, one day it just pops out. But like this has been going on like
over a year.
Yeah, like it's been a while. Like we were saying, it's been like over a year, and he's exactly right. Like when they first announced it and they blocked it, they were saying it was supposed to happen, I guess like in June, maybe July time frames. I guess they blocked it, and they caught up with and unblocked it, but like it's not like we didn't know this was going to happen, because like I said, the purchase happened over a year ago. It just took this long to get it finalized, and this easily could have been Microsoft and Bethesda. You know, like where we had to wait that like 6 months for it to actually go through and stuff like that and get signed off. But not Bethesda, whatever company that owns Bethesda.
Cinemax.
Cinemax, yeah. So like we had the same issue with, and they went through. So it takes time for these deals to happen, but I can understand the concern with the gaming aspect of it.
It's crazy, man.
I just really hope that like the people who are huge anime fans don't get blocked out and are forced to, watch things on just Sony platforms or however you guys watching it now. Because I know my daughter has a Crunchyroll subscription. Don't slap me because I might be wrong, but I know she watches a lot of anime using one of these services.
Just means that they better get on it about putting that service in more global regions.
Yeah, and
I was like, because they have no reason not to at this point.
Yeah, I don't think with the Crunchyroll thing and it's the anime in general that Sony has, I don't think they're going to block, because they want that out as much as possible to every platform that they can get it on. So I'm not too concerned about them, but as far as the gaming aspect goes, I can see them locking some of that stuff down to just their platform and PC.
All right.
Hellblade does not have Hellblade has HDR and does not have ray tracing, by the way.
It does not have ray tracing.
It does not have ray tracing.
Oh, guys, check it out. So if you want to play Hellblade in all that ray tracing goodness, I guess you're gonna have to play it on the Series S or Series X. That's all I gotta say. But yeah. Again, interesting topic here. I believe I put Dark in a corner to make him respond at least somewhat. I don't know, Crispy. Do you have anything to say on this? If not, we still have.
You should know, never put baby in the corner.
We still have Grand Theft Auto to talk about real quick before we kind of wind down. So, what do you want to do, bro?
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
All I hear is, hey, we're a multimedia platform. They have Sony Pictures and all that. Okay, let's corner the market on a certain part of it. That doesn't mean that it's going to do anything.
Okay.
I would say if you look it up, it's probably 20% of the market is actually in Western market is interested in anime. This is them doubling down on their roots, which I can actually appreciate. I mean, anime is huge in Japan. It's huge in Korea and everything else. And they have purchased a subscription service. So all subscription service. Well, guess what? Same thing, different content. That's all it is. Let's be honest for a second. Okay? Is this going to affect gaming? We have no clue. Okay? We don't. All right? There's not a human being on this planet that knows how Sony's going to approach this, because there are licenses involved for their shows and this and that do not involve the gaming aspect of any of these shows. So just realize that this means nothing as far as gaming is concerned. All this means is that Sony has gone and taken something that they have kind of cherished and are very good at and doubled down on it. And they paid a lot of money for it. But do not hate Microsoft for purchasing ZeniMax. Can you stop that now? Can we stop? Because they're all going to be exclusive. You'll get your death loop. You enjoy that, okay? But everything after that is going to be exclusive. I mean, shoot, I was in question myself. Like, is Starfield exclusive? Well, guess what? It is. Okay, so your Elder Scrolls, people that love that game across the world, it's exclusive. So either purchase a Series S like Dark did and say, you know what, fuck it. And you know what, for $300, guarantee that's the best console you ever bought for $300. I'll guarantee it right now. And that's the whole point. Xbox is playing a different game. No. No, it was
I
like
think-
400, 450, I
think
believe.
the Dreamcast
450
was
with it had a controller memory card that came with it for
I'll say
450,
it's
I
the best
believe.
$300 I've ever spent. I'll tell you that.
You know,
Okay.
and you know, this is where I go and say, like, everybody's like, PlayStation needs to buy studios. It's that they're not thinking about that. They have other, you know, sections of their company that aren't about gaming. Like Microsoft has other sections of their company that are about making software, like Office 365, like Windows, everything else that are, you know, going into gaming in some way, which is very strange because I feel like they kind of leaned in, like how you can use your PC with Windows and how you can download Game Pass or xCloud or do whatever. Like they are leaning into gaming, and I feel like PlayStation's like, you know what? We have our exclusives. They are great. We're going to continue to push them. And also at the same time, they're like, well, you know, we know people love anime. Now, over here, totally different. It's probably 80-20 in Japan, or you know what I mean? So the whole point is it's like I feel like they're kind of leaning into their roots, and that's not a bad thing. And to say it's a monopoly, that's blasphemy. I'm sorry. I mean, you can go and say, okay, Netflix, they have like, if you ever watch the show Disenchantment, okay? It's made by Matt Groening, who made Simpsons, okay? Freaking awesome show, all right? But is that anime or not?
No.
That's where you go and say, no, to you. Okay, but to somebody else that
Disenchantment's not
watches, it's a cartoon.
It's different though, dude. There's a difference between anime and I know that for sure.
Art
There's a
style.
difference between anime and animation. I mean, yeah, granted, Netflix does have some anime on it, and it does distribute.
I'm gonna
anime,
give you
but-
guys homework on anime at some point.
Okay,
in time,
okay.
and
So
I'm just gonna do that.
so here's
Bloody,
my
do you
point.
agree with that? Should I do that to the panel? They gotta do
Everybody
anime
says anime. Okay, everybody says anime, but it's animation. Okay, all of what Crunchyroll offers is animation. Correct?
No.
So
anime.
if a Western
anime is a form
audience,
of animation. It
okay,
doesn't stand
you
for
are
animation.
you are way out of your realm on this because that is not correct. Animation is animation. I don't care what type it is. Okay, if you're gonna say it's in a different language and this and that, and you want to say anime is because it's in a different language, that's a difference. But the whole point is it's all animation. Okay, so a Western audience could look at a show like Disenchantment and say, "This is anime for us."
Crispy. Anime, it's its own thing to the point where it even has its own kind of like subcategories as in the types of anime.
No.
Yeah,
How
It
does
does,
that
dude.
Bloody help
differentiate?
me.
It does.
Bloody help me, bloody.
Because you
No.
have 3D animation, and you have regular
Disney-
animation. There's a difference. dude.
Disney
There's a
movies are
difference between
animation.
that. Yeah,
You know,
Disney movies are
anime
animation, but they're
is a genre.
Anime is a genre, but it's still technically animation.
Yeah, no.
I was like, there's typically, I mean, look at, for a lot of people use as a comparison, look at Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's American animation, but it tries to replicate the Japanese anime style. I was like, anime is just an animation style. That's realistically all it is. So he's right when he says that animation is still just animation. It's just typically attributed to the art style and more importantly the location where it's coming from.
So
You look
so
at
the last few I've ever watched is Dragon Ball, Gundam. I've watched very few and far between. And what I see is a style, not necessarily what they're doing with the actual animation that makes it anime. And that's I appreciate that, Bloody, you said that, because that's what I'm trying to bring up the point. Like, you know, we, in the Western market could call, The Simpsons anime. in our thought process. And that's where I go and say, for you to go and say it's a monopoly, I think that's bullshit. Because I see, companies like Netflix. I mean, you could even go and say Pixar is anime, but it's not anime because it didn't come from a Japanese developer or something. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point is that I feel like, for people to go to that route and say it's cornering the market, I think that's bullshit, because anybody could make anime if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're saying on that. That's definitely a different angle than what most people express, and I appreciate your opinion, man. And shout out to Bloody for helping kind of straighten that whole thing out. What was it? I think it was Future Generation. Yeah, Future Generation. It was a little while ago. He asked me what game was being played with the demons and stuff. That was Dante's Inferno. It came out on the 360. The really, really cool game. I think it was the multi-plat game to kind of go up against like God of War. It had a very big kind of like old school God of War feel to it. The God of War that I like, like God of War 3 Remastered was my favorite game on my PS4. It feels a lot like that. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely like that game. But all right, guys, last topic here, and it seems that GTA, basically a GTA remastered trilogy, is becoming more and more likely that it is a thing. And when it comes to the games, we're talking Grand Theft Auto 3, we're talking Vice City, and we're talking San Andreas. And the thing about this is, all right, they're talking pretty much coming down the pipeline. This trilogy is going to come out, and it is going to be also available for the Switch. Now, nothing has been officially announced yet, but people have been following kind of like this remake, remaster, old school GTA, kind of like bits and pieces here that people have been following to try to put it all together and to paint the picture on what's coming from Rockstar. My whole thing is I love Vice City. Vice City is probably my favorite GTA of all time. Something about the 80s aesthetic and then the story in it. I had a lot of fun with that game. One thing I will say about these games is I don't feel that, at least graphically, they did not age well. And I'm wondering, because this trilogy is supposedly, again, no announcements yet, but it's just becoming more and more solid that this is a thing. Supposedly, this trilogy would be coming to the Switch as well. So I want to know from the panel if they're excited about this trilogy. Does this bring back memories and whatnot? But how good do you think this game is going to look and feel being remastered? Like, how far do you think they're going to go on a remaster of these three games? And you know what? We'll go with Predator on this one first. Pred, what do you think here, man? GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, it's becoming more and more a thing that this trilogy is coming out remastered. Do you think they're going to go all in on this, or do you think we're going to get just kind of like that resolution bump? I mean, it's coming out for the Switch as well, so how good can they make this, man?
I don't know what that's going to look like on the Switch, man. That's I don't know about that one. I honestly don't care. I have no desire to go back and play any of those three games, considering people are wanting GTA 6 and we're getting a remaster of three older games. Like, I look at GTA 5 and how long that game has lasted in the community. So, like, them talking about going back and redoing the other three, I don't understand why we keep making old games now. Just move on and make the new game. Use those assets to make sense. Get that game out faster than what it seems like it's going to take forever. But I don't know. I mean, if they're gonna do it right. Don't just just put it all in one packet and hey, we added new textures and here it is at 4K. Um, if they're gonna put the time into doing it, I hope they just start from a clean slate and fix everything. Like you said, it didn't age well. Some of those didn't age very well, so I couldn't see them because again, we could just get it back and pat on Xbox if they're not going to do anything with it. Just make it back and pat. So I'm hoping if they're going to do something like that, I would hope that they would at least do a res bump and some enhancements to the game graphically, and not just say here it is all in one package. Um, Kind of like give it the Mass Effect treatment. You know what I'm saying? If they do that, I think it'll be okay. But I can't see myself going back and spending all that time in those games again that people are spending now in GTA 5. I can't see it happening. Did they have shark cards in that game? Any of those? Did they have? Or was that only
No,
5?
that was only 5.
Like where they had, yeah. And I could see this as a cash grab, dude. If they do it the way they did 5, and just start putting like stuff like that, like shark cards and stuff in there, like we may never get a GTA 6 if they do that.
Yeah,
So,
see, well, Fred, one of the things that concerns me, well, first off, it's a trilogy, or as the elusive gamer says in the chat, he called it a collection. He said GTA minimal effort collection, and if they were talking about releasing one and then another one and another one, I would think that they would put in the time and effort to really kind of like upgrade it and stuff like that. But I gotta roll with the elusive gamer since it's a collection and it's Rockstar and they don't have shark cards or anything on this because there's no GTA Online involvement with these, at least not the original games or whatnot. I gotta roll with. I think it's just gonna be a minimal effort, and I don't know, man. I'm hearing rumors that GTA 6 will have Vice City in it, but up to like today's standards. And if they do a Vice City like at present, but still have some like retro radio channels that do kind of like the 80s music and stuff like that, I'm down for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to kind of like move forward. Unless they do like a complete kind of like remaster of Vice City, but I think it's gonna be minimal effort, bro.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Bloody, what do you think about this, man? Were you a GTA fan? Did you play any of the 3 in this trilogy? Probably San Andreas, right?
Actually, I played all of them growing up. I remember playing Vice City a lot. It was actually one of the first of the GTA games that I really played before San Andreas came out. And I also remember played some of GTA 3. So if they're doing a remaster of these classics, right? Some of the first progenitors of a lot of the open world kind of games, right? I would love to see what they do with it and really hope that this is a thing that gets done right? Because you think that San Andreas is already a very big cultural. It's a cultural phenomenon, right?
Yes.
Especially what it did for the GTA brand, and as well as just kind of its impact for good and bad. It's one of those things that's kind of stuck out. Same with the impact of what GTA 3 did, right? That was one of the first games that did like the whole open world, did the 3D. Because you look at GTA 1 and 2, that was the top-down shooter that it did, right? And then a lot of people had mixed feelings about Vice City, but Vice City was still big in the time when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
So if they're looking at doing this, it's going to be interesting because it kind of shows a switch in plans. It's just like, are they just going to kind of ride off of the whole remaster and remake hype that's currently been going on? and basically use that as a way to not focus on having to do the GTA 6 that everyone expects is currently being worked on, despite the fact that they've basically been riding off the high of one game success and being able to milk its online
Through
for the
3
past
generations.
Yep, for the better part of a decade, that has still been selling nonstop for almost 10 years. So it kind of shows that they're like, hey, we don't have to do much right now. Yeah, we put out, Red Dead Redemption 2 and it's sold a lot, but we're still making money off this. So let's kind of just keep using that. Because in the words of good old Noof Nukem, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And they're definitely taking off with that if this remaster is true.
Nice, brother. Yo, Dark Optimus, what do you think about this, man? Would you get in line for this collection, remastered GTAs? And dude, do you think that they're gonna that they put time and effort into this, or they are putting time and effort into this, or is this gonna be just kind of throw it out there with higher resolution and just kind of rake the money in for that nostalgia, like Bloody said, man?
I really have no interest in playing the old ones, like that's what I want. I want a new GTA, and they haven't done that. They have not done that yet, and we don't know when 6 is coming. That's a problem, dude.
Rumor is 2025, 2026, about that area for a new GTA.
Yeah. I hear that, but I mean, like, it's like, dude, like, I mean, how many times are we gonna go back and play these games? Like,
move on.
Like these games are just like, they're so old, and honestly, I don't think they're gonna do anything to make them freaking good. They'll probably just put it in 4K, and that's about it. Maybe give it a frame rate boost, and that's about it. I don't see Take-Two going back, or Rockstar going back and remastering these, making them absolutely phenomenal. Basically making them into like a remake, but I just don't see that happening with this franchise. I see them doing the most minimalistic they can possibly do, and that's about it.
And selling them at a collection for a discounted price and just kind of raking that all in, because they,
right.
It wasn't a lot of dev time to put it all together anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which, it would be nice. I mean, what would be cool is if they like completely remade these or whatever, and then like put them out in a collection like that, where you wouldn't have to, you wouldn't buy the, you'd have to buy them like individually, of course, because probably would do that, but it seems like for this thing, it's just a trilogy thing, so it looks like it's probably just going to be the most minimal thing that they're going to do, just so then they can keep in the limelight. That's really what they're doing it for. They're not I don't think they really even I don't even think they really care to go back and do it. They're just doing it so then they can say, oh yeah, we're giving you guys new games, but they're really not. Like that's the problem. And I don't know, man. I don't think Rockstar even cares about making more games. Like they have so many IPs. Like they have Midnight Club. They have Red Dead. Well, we got a Red Dead last gen, which was good. They have the GTA, and then they have Max Payne too. And it's like, where's the next? Is there going to be another Max Payne, or are they going to redo Max Payne, or what are they going to do? Like, they're just sitting on that game.
Yeah, just sitting on it.
They're just sitting on these games, and it's just like, dude, come on, man. Like make something. I understand that you're making a shit ton of money from the shark cards with GTA 5,
but you would think that would mean if they have a shit ton of money that
was 2 generations ago, though.
New projects in development,
Yeah, and that's 2 generations ago that we got freaking GTA 5. We're getting another GTA 5 basically remastered this gen. We got a
Enhancements.
last gen. Yeah, we got enhancements. And geez, man, quit milking this shit and give us a new fucking game.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Rockstar. What the is going on, man? I don't know. I agree
But
with
they
you
don't
on
care.
that.
They don't care. They just want to make that money and that's it.
That
This
is
more
and
power.
that is very, very unfortunate in my opinion. That is possibly the downside for games as a service when it
Yeah.
comes down to it. Because if they had one of the things about GTA 5 that people complain about, yeah, they're coming out with content for GTA Online, but give us some story content for GTA 5 as well. Not just these
Right.
kind of like runs with GTA Online. Because I will say, I personally I like the story of GTA 5. I like the characters.
I do too. Yeah.
I thought it was a quality campaign from them. But I don't know. Crispy, what do you think about this, bro? Do you think minimal effort with this trilogy? Are you excited about it, man? Do you have history with these games? I think everybody has history with these games, but what's yours, bro?
Yeah, I do. I mean, those are the three that I played the most.
Yeah.
I actually, started with Grand Theft Auto 2. Really got into that, which was a top down, by the way. A lot of people don't even know that. But, the thing I
love
look
the
at
top
is,
down, the GTA and GTA 2. Oh man, those were great.
yeah, GTA I played because, like I've told people before, I lived, up the street from Blockbuster. So, like, GTA 2 at the time was the new
Most
one.
people don't even know what Blockbuster is, dude.
Well, you know what? If you don't, look it up. Okay?
Wow.
It's basically I don't have to do anything Game Pass subscription. There you go.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nowadays I get to just sit home and be like, "Hey, I'm going to play this game today." Oh, I don't like it. I'm gone. Well, guess what? I'd pay $5. I'd have it for 4 days. And I go and say, "You know what? That's not a game for me." But hey, I found a game I liked. I bought it. That's the same damn thing. Sorry, people, but Grand Theft Auto is kind of all over the place. I mean, they've ran with 5 for so long at this point. They're kind of like, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done?" We're going over three, technically 3 generations. Here's the thing, okay? Those 3 games were made on renderware. Renderware has like 50 plus. I'm not even going to count them all, but 50 plus games that were made on renderware back in the day, as we'd like to call it. Actually, there was a game that came out in 2018 that was made on renderware. Whatever happened or transpired after Take-Two and Rockstar and everybody else started merging together or bought out, whatever you want to call it, they created a totally different engine, and it's Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. So 4 and 5 were on that. So those 3 games were built on renderware. Now, the only thing I question is you say remaster or remake. They need remakes, okay? I understand. From what I understand, if you're going to call it a remaster, it's basically taking the game, putting a new coat of paint on it, maybe changing a few little things here and there, and calling it a day. Keeping them basically the same. Now, a remake would be taking that game, porting it to your newer engine, which is Rockstar Advanced Engine, and making it somewhat like the new games, but still with that same, story. I mean, Vice City probably had for a GTA game, one of the best stories I've ever played.
Yes.
San Andreas was really in depth in how you built your character, which I really loved. So, I'm not saying take all of them and meld them together. That would make no sense. But kind of, take aspects of, parts of them and make it, more in depth into the story that was already there. Make it feel nostalgic, but at the same time, make it feel new. Kind of look like, and I'll be honest, this is the only game, and I know the company that technically made it sucks, but Tony Hawk 1 and 2, the remake, it's not, I think it's the remake, it's a remake. It is a remake of the game, and it is glorious. And Vicarious Visions did an amazing job.
Do they call it a remake or do they call it a remaster? I
don't even remember at this point. I don't even remember. It's just Tony Hawk 1 and 2. I think they called it a remaster if I'm not mistaken. But that's where I go and say, well, if that's a remaster, I'll take that for here, because I would love to go back through. I mean, it's been like 15 years since I played Vice City. And I'll never, and I run. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like the beginning of that game was just crazy good. Like the beginning of that game was so good, and it just got you into it. And then you started doing the GTA things. You know what I mean? Like just shooting people, and then the cars looked freaking awesome. And like back then it looked great, but now I know it'd be like throw up on the freaking table. Be like, I puked. Like, there you go. That's what it is. So do something great with it or leave it alone. Like, don't even touch it. Like, that's what I say. Up-res it all day, but you got to do something with it. Like, you got to make the cars feel right. You got to do these little things that are going to make a difference. And you go and look at Mass Effect, how popular that was. You know what I mean? They didn't say remake, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
just
they
a
said
remaster.
Yeah.
But so that's enough for me. You know what I mean? Especially with GTA. GTA I grew up with. Like that is my jam. And I lost interest because I felt like they were kind of, regurgitating everything. And I wasn't down for the regurgitation. I felt like I needed that story that these three games actually gave. You know what I mean? Like, and it kind of lost that. Like, it was all about the online and everything. And I was like, I missed that part of it. And you kind of feel badass, but at the same time vulnerable. And I hope they keep that. But at the same time, it needs way better graphics and way better mechanics for all three of them. So give that to us. And the only concern else I have is that you're doing all three, but Mass Effect did it well. So, a lot of people hated EA. EA is starting to, gain ground. Let's see Rockstar do it. Rockstar 2K, let's see them, kind of bring themselves back up, and maybe it starts with nostalgia. Sometimes you need that.
Nice, brother. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man. Yo, he was so adamant. He wanted me to say this to the point where, yes, he hit up the super chat. Thank you for the support, bro. He says, please remaster Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. I did like Dub Edition. I might be in the minority here. Midnight Club LA was probably my favorite Midnight Club.
I thought both were good, to be honest.
Yeah, LA was good, dude.
LA, and then when they expanded it as well, they came out with the
well, Dark, you're kind of biased, so I'm just saying.
Yo, and shout out to Master Clown X3 hitting up that super chat, and he still will not type anything, and it's just showing love and support for the channel. Thank you so much. Your hand is cold. Wow, my son just came in and put his you must have been in air conditioning because it's crazy hot, dude, outside. But yeah, guys, unless anybody else wants to chime in, I think that's pretty much it for the show.
I got something. I'm still here.
Oh, you are still here. Wow.
I was about to say he didn't even hit midway up.
Damn, that's so bad.
Uh,
That is so bad.
He
He is
missed
a
you on the last
special
topic
guest.
too,
He
didn't he?
came in to help out, and I missed him. Yo, bro, do me a favor. Don't hold it against me. That's all I gotta say, man. Don't hold it against me, okay? But what do you gotta say about this trilogy, brother?
I'm like that wrestler, on a tag team, like stretching as far as you can for the tag. I'm like, come on.
Come on,
But,
come on! I can't wait.
Well, so here's the thing. So we were talking about that renderware, right? So, I mean, you could tell from the OG Xbox and PS2 days that was, I'm surprised their hands just didn't have lines, like. But the thing is that EA bought Criterion Games in 2004. Criterion Games created the renderware engine.
Which was
They
black.
EA is will still honor contracts from external developers, Rockstar, who licensed it out before the acquisition. So 2004 was when San Andreas came out. I don't know if it was before or after the Criterion acquisition, but if we all know Rockstar to be Rockstar and just want to do the bare minimum, they could remaster and keep the renderware engine if they wanted to.
Oh my goodness!
But I, especially for Vice City and 3, I really hope that they don't do that, because obviously, and Xbox, I know you're gonna hate hearing this, but Unity engine would be an upgrade to renderware.
Oh man, that hurt.
So I mean, let's just have a little optimism and just hope that they're actually giving it fair treatment, even better than what BioWare did for I was about to say Master Chief Collection, the
What
Legendary
BioWare did for the
edition.
Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what would be a great option to be was if they did treat it kind of like a Master Chief Collection, where you could press the select button and then you could play in either the new mode or the original mode. That would be really cool if they could do that. But yeah, I really hope that, I mean, the first time you rode that bicycle in San Andreas, doing the triggers and stuff, that was an exciting time for me as a gamer when I felt like I had more control of something. Just that small little aspect of a game, even lifting weights, or just eating.
Getting fat.
You can make your guy fat. You can make your guy, yeah. So I mean, I mean, I really hope that they do these games that made them who they are justice, and definitely bring it forward and have that game preservation, right? So let's hope they do us good.
I like give the games that pretty much put them on the map. Give them the care that they deserve. I definitely can appreciate that, man. All in all, I don't think it's going to be crazy. But if they do go in and they really kind of polish these games up, and they because shout out to the Elusive Gamer. I think he was like PlayStation 2 third party or third person aiming was horrid and stuff like that. But if they can go in and give it the proper attention and the proper treatment, I think it would be cool. I'm just not very optimistic that they're going to do such a thing. Yo, shout out to Master Clown. He says, I want another Viva Pinata. Brother, you are not the only one. Those games are so awesome. I would definitely play another Viva Pinata. But guys, that's pretty much it. This was the race home to get the show up and on the air edition of Next Podcast. Of course, that is every other Thursday when I am working, because I get out at 7 and we try to go live about 8ish. about 8ish. Even I can't lie. Even when I am home on the Thursdays I am home, we're pretty much not on time anyway. But it is what it is, and we came out prime time. We came out live for you guys. I thought we had some interesting topics. If you like the show, definitely hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Caitlin just gave me 1 billion thumbs down, I guess. I have no idea. Maybe it's the thumbs down because we're ending. Yeah, and Master Clown's just crying. Don't cry, brother. We will be back. We will be back next Thursday, bro. And I'm working on a special guest. Stay tuned for that. But that's a different show. We gotta let our special guests that are here tonight. We gotta let them shine. And I'm gonna start with the man who came in first. My brother, Midway Monster. Now, Midway, I want to let you know, I kind of paid in a certain way. I paid for you to be on the show. I gotta possibly lose to Clowns in PGA just to have you on tonight, man. I don't know if you knew that, but that's gonna be really hard to do.
Wait,
so,
you have to lose?
I don't know. You had you got to build him up, man. You know him. He is a slicing machine in PGA. But
That's fine.
I did not know that, and it will be hard the way he 2-putt and 3-putts on the greens.
Yeah, like I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do that. But shout out to Italian Clowns, man. But brother, it was a blast having you on as always. Always have a good time when you're on the show. Why don't you let people know, what you're doing in terms of podcasting, and of course, where people can go and talk games with you, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I know you asked me, but I've always been meaning to want to get back on and talk with all of you guys again. It's always a fun time. Midway 8 Monster on Twitter, and I'm on 4GQ TV, formerly 4 Guys with Quarters. Really good interviews, really good shows every Thursday at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central Time. Yeah, I mean, with podcasting, like, I am a high school football coach, so a lot of time is going to be dedicated to that. It will be cut down a little bit with the podcasting time because of that, but this is one of my passions, and I enjoy talking about all this stuff and all the topics and hearing everyone's input and hearing points of view that maybe I haven't thought of, and it's always good to have that type of variety and that thought. Xbot, you run a awesome podcast. I encourage everyone to subscribe to this guy. He does this purely for the enjoyment, and he just loves the passion of gaming. Dark Optimus, you're awesome. You're scandalous, but you're awesome. All right, so but dropping bombs on the PlayStation community.
It's true. You got to, man. You got to.
Predator, always enjoy a good time with you. Didn't talk much, but always a good time with you.
Well, you
Crispy,
got to subscribe to his OnlyFans, just to let you know. That's another stipulation, by the way.
Crispy is just the opposite. He talks too much, but it's always insightful. What did you say?
I said subscribe to Predator's OnlyFans.
And Bloody Nux, man, it's always a good time. You've been on 4GQ TV a couple times, and always love your input and love your energy and love your style as well, man. Those rings, man, keep representing those rings. Again, guys, thank you very much. We'll do it again soon.
Nice, brother. I think you might have set a record for our guests on your outro, man. I don't know. I gotta go back and I gotta check the numbers. But dude, it It is always fun talking to you, bro. You know that, man. I have a blast anytime we play golf, man, and we're going back and forth. For people who don't know, Midway is also a movie fanatic, absolute movie fanatic. So if you want to talk movies as well, definitely follow him on Twitter and just give your opinion on a movie. And before you know it, you got an entire conversation going on with Mr. Midway over here. Bloody, my bro, GRG, Bloody Nux, man. Yo, bro, I am so thankful that you were able to make the show tonight. You know, when it comes to insight, you know, Sony, anime, of course, being the anime king, you were the first person I thought of when it came to talking about that topic. And bro, you did not disappoint. But other than that, every other topic, man, I always love talking games with you. Why don't you let people know, yo, what's going on? You are a streamer, of course. You are on GRG. You know, give the people the information that they need to hear, bro.
All right, well, you already know what it is, guys. It is your boy Bloody Nuts, aka the Gothic Gamer, your resident anime king, but more importantly, the Mad Dragon of Xbox. You know that I'm here to be the voice for the people representing the Japanese enthusiasts across the world, and I appreciate you, as always, Xbox, for letting me come on out here and show my love to the community, as well as being the voice for talking about a very interesting and very controversial topic and bringing up the world for those who are Japanese enthusiasts like I am. But for everyone who's interested in me, you can follow me all over on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and over on twitch.tv/BloodyNux. That's KNUX, where they can find streaming 5 times a week, as well as they can also find me on GRG when I'm over there, as well as if they are not following me, they need to make sure they also follow me on YouTube, as I am working to bring back the Smash Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things nerdy news and geeky goodness, where we talk about all things anime, TV, and movies across all the spectrum of pop culture. And as always, I appreciate the panel for coming on out, but it's been a while since we've done anything, so it's always good to see you. Bottomist, my friend, it's always good to come and rip you a new one whenever I can, so it's always fun since it's been a while since we've done anything. Crispy, it's always a good time listening to your voice. I was like, you remind me of personality-wise of another Noof Nukem, but you know, you're explosive when he's not. And Midway, it's always good to see you and the crew over from G4 QTV, so you know, it's good to just hang out with you every now and then. And Pred, whenever we do stuff, you know, it's always good, but more than anything, we sit there and just shoot it in the chats whenever we can, so it's always good to talk to this panel.
Nice, brother.
People also don't know this, but Bloody does his podcasting from the toilet.
I do.
Because his mic sounds like he's
Sitting on the
fucking in the
toilet.
shitter.
Hey,
I
man.
thought that was a world premiere for a second. Like,
Sitting on the
world
toilet.
premiere. Come on.
Hey, listen, when you got that voice, it just echoes, man. Nothing can contain it.
Is it the voice, or
I
is it just
do know about
shitty
that too,
mic?
by the way. I definitely,
Listen,
Dark, it's better than you skipping, bro. Like
oh wow, guys. On
Hey,
that
listen,
note,
just
he went for the jugular there.
he just doesn't understand that the bathroom provides the best acoustics when you actually want to sound like you know what you're talking about, because Bottomist never does.
ooh, but no, hold on. Bottomist bought a Series S. Where it's okay now. It's okay now.
Right, yeah, it's okay. It's okay now. I'm not a pony anymore.
What the pony say? He saw the light. He finally converted. Praise the Lord.
Kinda.
hey, he's always had a 1X. I've talked to him on Xbox. Come on now.
I don't know what
Give
you're
him
talking
credit for
about. I
that.
cannot confirm these.
A 1X? That's so last gen.
Well, guys, you know,
You're not allowed.
I think it's a perfect time for Dark Optimus to come out with his outro. We're gonna ride that wave, man. Dark, what do you got for us, brother?
I'm
You
still a piece of garbage.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Items. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And as always, you guys can find me here on the next podcast, where I, you know, try to give Crispy shit about, you know, different
Everything.
things. But now that I have a Series S, it's like it's gonna be hard to, you know, give him shit about stuff, which sucks because maybe I should just sell this fucking thing. No, but yeah, man. See you guys next week.
Nice, brother. Crispy, what have you got for us, brother, in terms of an outro?
Still a piece of garbage.
Oh wow.
At Chris Baum on Twitter, Chris Baum 28 Xbox Live. Breakfast with Boom is on hiatus for the next 2 weeks, so you will not see me tomorrow. But we've got the Retro Renegade 7 p.m. Tuesday nights. And of course, you can find me back here on the next podcast. Prime time, 8 p.m. on Thursdays. Let's go.
That's right. And yo, shout out to Retro Renegade. So you want a crazy show where you have absolutely no idea what's going to be talked about or what's going to happen. It is definitely over there with Graphic God and the Retro Renegades, because anything can happen on that show. Anything can be said on that show. So shout out to you guys.
But I can attest for that. I mean, we had like a 15-minute conversation about how fine Selma Hayek is, how fine she is.
Yeah, for real. Like, you have no idea what you are going to get from Retro Renegades, but you do know it is going to be absolutely entertaining.
Time.
Yeah, definitely. Pred, thank you for joining us, and we're going to forget that I forgot about you on one of the topics, okay? Just to let you know, that's what we're going to do.
We'll never know.
You got to let people know about your OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure it's blowing up. Are you being highlighted from OnlyFans now? Is it getting to the point that you wanted to get to, bro?
It's only come from Daddy.
Top 3% right now.
Oh.
No, real talk. Next podcast. See y'all next week, man. I really got nothing for the outro. It's kind of quiet today since I came in late, and I just want to listen to the topics and hear what you guys have to say, especially when having us, Midway and Bloody on here. They had some interesting takes that I think needed some attention. So I shut the fuck up and let them talk. So see y'all next week.
Thank you.
How come?
Dark's still a piece of garbage, even though he's got a Series S now. But
I know.
He's still over.
How come whenever Pred's like, well, I shut the fuck up because these guys had interesting takes. How come I felt like that was a shot at me and possibly other panel members? Like, you guys should have shut the fuck up too. But no, you didn't do that. Yeah. But
being extra sensitive right now.
That's
all
why.
it is. Why
You're
you
Shit, bot.
Predator, respect,
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah, man, I don't know why he's being so sensitive right now, man.
I've got a problem because I'm still a piece of garbage.
Wow, it's stuck in his head now. That is
Put your vagina away. You'll be all right.
But guys, yo, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Yo, Stephanie, you were killing it tonight. Of course, Master Clown, everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We are here every Thursday, 8 p.m. And of course, that is prime time. So we will see you guys next Thursday for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
Welcome to.
No, we're not doing that.
This is Steve
We are-
Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to next podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.